Hey from Herd Spirit. I'm Geeta Matlock. I'm an equine coach, and I want to share a little bit about conflict and what horses teach us about conflict. If you are somebody who struggles with conflict, horses have a lot to teach us and share, guiding us through experiential learning on how to deal with conflict. So great experience once when working with a client. This client showed up to address a conflict at work. And the horses, I had two horses out, and the two horses start nipping at each other and pushing each other around as this discussion of conflict is coming up. It was pretty dramatic. And this person started to get some self-awareness around what aspects of that conflict were they responsible for. But midstream, a gorgeous blue heron lands 50 feet from the round pen. And these are huge birds. 10 seconds after that, a second one lands. And what do? They spread their wings and they come do a little dance. Couldn't tell if it was a love dance or a hate dance. And then all of a sudden, one lunges at the other and one flies off. And the client and I are both awestruck because this is gorgeous. And it takes a while to process what is this? What are the steps of this? I see it in the horses all the time. But once we get an understanding through experiencing it in the impersonal part of nature, it becomes easier to understand how to do it ourselves. And the answer is simple. One, the conflict arises when two needs are in misalignment. One being wants or needs one thing, the other wants or needs another thing. And the way that the horses show us is through clear communication. One clearly communicates its need, the other clearly responds, chooses the response. It escalates, the communication gets louder, and looks like conflict is conflict until one of them yields to the other. Decides, nah, not worth it. I'm ready to let this go. And then both horses return to grazing. Because peace is the goal. Harmony is the goal. So how can we imagine doing that? How can we have a conflict? Because conflict happens. Your needs are not the same as my needs, and so they're going to naturally conflict sometimes. How do we address that conflict with good, clear communication and then come to a resolution and let it go and not hold on to it? And the answer is very simple. We take responsibility for our side of that communication, for our thoughts, feelings, actions, and beliefs. And if we're taking full responsibility, it means we're fully awake and aware of those things. So the first thing to do, step 1, notice you're in a conflict. Step 2, decide what is it that I am trying to accomplish here. Bring awareness. What do I feel about this? What do I think about this? What am I throwing over there that's my responsibility, not theirs? Okay, you get that really clear. Here's me stepping into, here's what my need is, here's how I feel about it. I'm taking ownership and responsibility for that. The other gets to decide whether they're going to be conscious about it or not, how they're going to respond. And once they've responded and you are satisfied with how you're showing up in the conversation through your communication and your alignment, taking responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions, then you are in the perfect position to let it go once it's resolved. And if it's not resolved, at a certain point, you may decide, I'm going to yield this situation because I'm ready to release and move on. but not because I never addressed the conflict, I wasn't clear in how I communicated, and I'm feeling pissed off. So those are the things that get us stuck. If we can take ownership, responsibility, conscious awareness about what needs you're trying to meet in the situation, and can feel clean, clear, and good, you're going to easily let it go and return to harmony. And harmony is the goal. We all want to live in harmony, just like the herd does. But conflict happens, and avoidance of conflict or not taking ownership of our role in conflict or not communicating clearly gets us stuck in conflict, inside or outside, and doesn't allow us to release it. So, come practice how to address conflict like a horse.